Read this prayer on Friday during Ramadan, and wish will be easily granted. Before knowing the prayer on Friday of Ramadan, it is good to understand how prayer can be a bridge so Allah SWT grants our wish. In terms of human dignity or desire, it will undoubtedly be endless. Every human being has dignity. Not infrequently, these big things are difficult to achieve, such as wanting to be free from accumulating debt, owning a house, and meeting a soulmate immediately. Logically, achieving it is not easy if we rely only on human strength. If so, only Allah Almighty can be man's primary place of hope and dependence. To connect with Allah Almighty, humans will begin to pray and express their wishes through these prayers. Islam itself has taught us how we can connect with Allah Almighty, namely, through the guidance of prayer. Prayer is a part of worship that can connect with Allah to ask for guidance, enlightenment, tranquility, and other good things. Privileges of Friday according to Islam. There are several Sahih narrations from the information of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, which states that Allah Almighty laid out a particular time on Friday to pray. If a person prays, asks, and prays to God on Friday, his prayer will not be refused. In other words, the prayer will be readily granted by Allah Almighty. Narrated from Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, he said, "On Friday, the angel Gabriel brought the Holy Prophet to show in his palm a white mirror, and in the middle there was like a black spot. The Prophet, peace be upon him, asked, 'What is this, O Jibril?' Jibril replied, 'This is Friday. Your Lord showed you that it might be a feast day for you and the people after you. For you, there is kindness to him. You are first, while Jews and Christians are after you. It is a time that if a person prays to his God with the goodness that is his part, he will surely give it, or take refuge from evil. Surely he spares it from being greater than him. We, the angels, call it in the hereafter with an extra day bonus." Features of Friday. Allah Almighty bestows grace on Muslims on Fridays that He does not give to others. Friday is a holiday for Muslims. There is the best time to pray, and it will be efficacious if a Muslim does it on a Friday. Friday is called an extra or bonus day in the sky. In addition, another Sahih narration reads similarly and says that Friday is an efficacious day to pray because the prayer will be easily heard by Allah. Having narrated to us, Muawiyah said, having narrated to us Shayban from Firas, from Athiyah, from Abu Sa'id, from the Prophet, peace be upon him, he said, "If a man purifies and makes good of him and then afterwards comes to the mosque, he does not do vain and does not act ignorantly until the Imam leaves. Then it will be expiation between that Friday and the next Friday." And on Friday, there was a time when no believer found that time and then asked Allah for anything unless He would surely give it to him. And the 5 daily prayers are the expiation between one prayer and another. Or Ahmad bin Hanbal. From Abu Hurairah, may Allah, the prayers we say on Friday will be heard and answered by Allah Almighty if they are done in good and correct ways and follow the needs of our hereafter. Praying on Friday of Ramadan. At the same time, Friday can be even more special if he is in Ramadan. It is based on a hadith narrated by At-Tirmidhi. The hadith states that there will be no rejection of the prayers of someone who is fasting. The Holy Prophet said, "There are 3 people whose prayers are not rejected: a just leader, one who fasts until he breaks his fast, and the prayer of the persecuted. God will lift him under the shade of the clouds on the day of judgment, and the gates of heaven will be opened for him, saying, 'For my majesty's sake, truly I will help you even after a while.'" It is clearly stated that there are 3 classes of people whose prayers will be directly answered by Allah. They are just leaders, people who fast until iftar, and people who are wronged. Allah will answer their prayers if they offer them for the good of the world and the hereafter according to their benefits. Friday prayer of Ramadan. There is no specific prayer that a Muslim can say on Friday in Ramadan. However, in his lecture, Ustaz Adi Hidayat said there is one prayer we should always say on Friday during the fasting month. Among the many prayers, there is one part of the prayer taught by our scholars, specifically requested on Fridays. With short, concise, but meaningful sentences, said Ustaz Adi Hidayat, as quoted from the YouTube channel. Allahumma ikfinihim bihalalika an haramik wa aghnini bifadlika amman siwaka. Allahumma ikfina bihalalika an haramik wa aghnini bifadlika amman siwaka. It means, O God, Satisfy me with your lawful sustenance until I am spared. From the haram, enrich me with thy gifts until I do not ask to thy others. Reciting this prayer after Friday prayers for men. As for women, this prayer can be read before breaking the fast or shortly after we slightly break our fast. After reading this prayer, we can also offer our wishes to God. Please ask profusely. Please ask Allah. Ask when the time and activity are right and appropriate, the place to ask is good, and the person is in good condition. So all these conditions become perfect conditions for quick answers to prayers, explained the cleric, who is familiarly